full visits to the south of France. They've conceded 196 points. So defensively, they need to be on the mettle in this game.
We're bound to see some tries. Gareth Ewer taking charge of this game in the south of France. Good to see him on Sky Sports, the Cumbrian referee. But as far as tries goes, Catalan have scored 38 so far this season in 8 games. Widnes 46 in 9 games. So there's a fair chance that we're going to see a few tries. There's also a fair chance that Catalan will concede a few, because defensively they haven't been that hot.
No, but in players like Glenn Stewart, and Dave Taylor's a good runner of the ball as we see the game kicked off. They'll have to be on the guard. And I wonder whether Widnes have picked anything up from Monday's match when they played Saints. Very methodical, St Helens, and that's basically how they came away with the points.
I tell you what they did pick up from Monday's game against Saints. Don't make errors bringing the ball away from your own line. They made 9 mistakes in the opening 30 minutes, and they conceded 6 penalties close to their own line. So I'm sure it'll be all about make sure we get out of yardage, we complete our set and get a decent kick away.
Hold the line.
Well, Widnes with McGrath Luluai playing the ball, getting the first touch of possession.
Working on weight.
Hanbury. And there's the kick, and it's a good one into the corner. It's a great kick, and it's into that corner where the Widnes Viking supporters have taken their seats.
Do you know, it's a great way to start in the south of France. Completed the set, they've kicked on their terms, they've kicked it just short of the corner flag, just trapping Catalan 10 metres from the line in the left-hand corner, and a lot of pressure on that front row in Gil Dudson, Aaron Jeremiah, Naaman O'Carroll. They know that it's going to be physical, they know they're up against like Willie Mason and obviously Dave Taylor starting up front. They're a big side, aren't they?
Willie Mason starting in this one. So they're going to take some handling, as other sides have found out so far this season. It's very much a give it to the big lad approach from the Catalan Dragons at times, but that's not purely what they're about. The homegrown Julien Bousquet.
What they've got some power, and they play off the back of that power. They like to set the big forwards going forward, committing 3 defenders, and then see what's on the back of that.
Pelissier, and then Myler, once a Widnes player in his teens, puts the kick in, ricochets off the post straight back into the hands of Patrick Arvan. And who's there leading the charge?
It's a big afternoon for Richard Myler, playing against, as you say, his former club. I think me and Terry were both there while he was making his way through the game. Very impressed with his pace and his confidence, but a responsibility in this match, because he's not playing Carney. He'll have to look after the kicking game, where to kick, when to kick, how to kick. We'll see how he copes with it.
Just 2 appearances for the Widnes club in 2007 for Richie Myler when he was 17 years of age. Good offload from Dudson. And Widnes
hands out.
Not
Work at 10 metres, come on. Jason, keep working.
Give the ball some width, and then Mellor hoists the kick. Escaré is underneath this one and takes it comfortably, reversing towards his own try line. It was characteristic little skip.
It was well taken, man. There's a bit of movement in the ball. The back end, look, here's the big wrecking ball. Dave Taylor likes to pick out the smaller lads on the edge, and Joe Mellor looking for that offload.
It was a one-handed scoot.
He's got all the skills, hasn't he? We marvelled, me and Tez, about the kick that he put in against Wakefield. One of his teammates picked it up and scored a try. He's not afraid to try things.
Broughton takes Catalan Dragons up towards the halfway line. Naaman O'Carroll with the tackle. And then Myler finds Dupont motoring up the middle. He did have support from Escaré, but Widnes managed to cut off that channel. But quick play the ball, Pelissier and Richards, and Pat Richards cruises in at the corner for the first try of the game. And Widnes couldn't withstand the pressure there. They got a roll on the Catalan Dragons. Dupont made the first dent in the Vikings defence. They got to quick play the ball, and good thinking from Pelissier.
Well, when Dupont goes through here, it was a real disjointed defensive line from Widnes, and you can see that the players are struggling to get back in line with the referee. And then Corey Thompson, well, he's trying to close the play down. He gets up really quick on Dave Taylor, because if he doesn't get up quick, he's going to go over the top of him. But Dave Taylor, the skillful player that he is, instead of trying to run over the winger, he creates the opportunity, creates the space for his winger Pat Richards to score the opening try.
And he creates doubt in the winger's mind. By rights, he should have waited for Chris Dean to collect the ball carrier, leaving him open to push on to the winger, but he doesn't. He panics a bit.
You've got a lot of things to contend with when you're up against Dave Taylor, haven't you?
Yeah.
Do you go in on him? Do you wait for your inside defender to help you out?
Well, Pat Richards scored the try. Pat Richards will try and kick the goal. It's his 5th try of the season. And he's edging towards 5th place in the all-time Super League points chart, currently occupied by one Sean Long. Now, after that try, just 12 off that 2,200 mark, Pat Richards. This will test his goal-kicking skills. It's a grey, damp day in Perpignan.
Yeah, it's overcast, Bill, but I think that's a warning sign for Widnes. You've got to control the first 3 play the balls. You can't let them get that roll on. As soon as they get that roll on, it's very difficult to stop those juggernauts that are coming forward, whether it be in the centre field or Vince Duport on the left edge. They're very big across the park.
Richards from out wide, looking to curl it in, can't quite. Not a bad effort. Neither was this.
I think full credit to Vincent Duport. He's been a solid performer for the Catalan Dragons, the 28-year-old. He's a big man, and there's another big man passing on to Pat Richards. I couldn't believe it when I looked at my research, looked at the notes, and he's 34 years of age. Ian Proctor's research. I'll just clarify that.
Escaré collects the restart and sets up Julien Bousquet on the charge, but Chris Houston there to meet him.
Well, he just has to get in front of him, doesn't he? Causes a lot of problems, Julien Bousquet. When he's direct, some prop forwards don't need to use footwork at the line. They don't need that tip on, because if they can run as explosive into the defensive line like Bousquet did then, it's going to cause problems. Look, they can't take him to ground.
Good leg drive as well. We saw Michael Simon playing for Wakefield. Very similar, hard and straight, and it's difficult to deal with.
Pelissier starting this game again. He's done his cause no harm at all in these early weeks of the season, making the most of the absence of Paul Ayton, who was injured very early in his Catalan season. 15 minutes into it, in actual fact. Here is Taylor once again, and look at him, the Widnes Vikings swarming round him to try and stop his progress. Pelissier, Myler, here's Willie Mason, bounces off the challenge from Luluai.
Yeah, well, Luluai has been hunted a few times in this set of 6. He's putting pressure on from the inside.
Widnes really need to try and hold firm here against Tony Gigot.
I actually prefer him in the centre. This is his second game. He played there on Monday against Cass. I think it suits him better.
Bousquet climbs to take the kick, but can't do anything with it. And to the Vikings' relief, that'll be the turnover.
Well, they get away with that. It's an attacking kick from Catalan. They just go into the corner, they put the ball in the air. As soon as that ball goes in the air, it's a bit of a contest. Now Widnes will be looking for some of the speedsters to get in as Charlie Runciman goes behind dummy half. They know that they want to get out of here as quick as they can, as he looks to go to the left edge, and Tom Gilmore, who's behind dummy half, just waving some of his bigger players on, and here's Pat Arvan with a strong carry.
A tough game against the Saints last Monday, Patrick Arvan. For a big performance in this one. Widnes trailing 4-0 early on to that Pat Richards try. Oof!
It was a full-blooded challenge, that one, wasn't it? I don't know whether it was late. Gareth Hewer, I think, looked over his left shoulder to see whether he was going to get a nod from his linesman. Play on.
Here is Vincent Duport. Judson stands firm to make the tackle. A groan from the Catalan supporters at what they thought was a high challenge from Whitley, but Gareth Hewer saw nothing wrong with that.
Chris, clear the ruck. Hold. Go.
Well, Widnes look like they're defending the space instead of getting a bit tighter. Catalan congregating around the ball, so they can't come up with a shift play if there's nobody there to shift the ball to. So maybe get a bit tighter and try and put pressure on him in that way.
Myler kicks deep. Corey Thompson collects. And he is a danger if you give him some open space.
He not only can score tries, but he's very good at bringing the ball back. Not the biggest of wingers in Super League, but certainly he's got decent footwork.
Christine upended. Pelissier got a hold low down. Eamon O'Carroll now.
3 clear. Willie can come in.
Just signed a new Vikings deal. The prop forward, Chris Houston. Just
Fourth. Movement.
encroaches into Catalan territory. Jeremiah. Good hands from the Vikings.
5, release him.
That's the 5th tackle. Hanbury plays. Gilmore hoists the kick and Escaré claims that one.
Movement.
Well taken from Escaré.
Hold.
We're talking about Tony Gigot.
Come on, we've got a hold.
Now, I prefer to see him locked in. He's locked in on the right side as Gareth Ewer doesn't like the speed of the line from Widnes. But I like to see Morgan Escaré in broken play. He jumps up, collects this ball, he's nice and confident. Whether he drops them or catches them, I don't believe his confidence is effective. But when he's sniffing around and getting some of those offloads, I think there's no better player in the game.
And that's another penalty, the high tackle, and Jason Viteri.
Yeah, it's Eamon O'Carroll.
Yep.
Eamon O'Carroll on Stewart. Yeah, just a late shift at the line, goes across the top of him.
Here we go, back-to-back penalties, and Catalan marching down the field with ease. Myler calling the shots. Bosk shifts it on to Jason Viteri, 10 metres out, right in front of those posts he's tackled. Dodson and O'Carroll doing the defensive duty. Mason on to Myler. Taylor this time taking it himself and still going. The monster, as the Catalan fans call him. But monstered there by the Vikings defenders. Here is Busquet on the charge. Widnes having to do a lot of defending early on in this game. Pelissier. Myler, change of direction from him. Now Thomas Bosk, Glenn Stewart, but they're going straight back towards where the Vikings defenders are waiting for them. Viteri shifts it on, now they go out wide. Taylor will try and get the pass away, instead he'll get the kick in. He really will try anything.
He's like a magnet with defenders, isn't he? Everyone's zooming in on Taylor every time he gets that ball. Matt Whitley needs some support here, some lonely carries if you're trapped in the corner.
There's some hefty shots though, isn't there, Says? You see, there's a big collision and the penalty comes off the back of this. Corey Thompson, he has to make that decision again.
Already there's a problem with Widnes, Charlie Runciman. I noticed that Ed Chamberlain, the youngster who made his debut against Saints on Easter Monday, is already on the pitch in the left centre.
Wasn't Runciman just back?
Just back from a hamstring injury. So that's a big blow for them. They were hoping, Bill, to have next week back when they play Castleford, Kevin Bryan, Lloyd Whitehead, Cale, Chris Bridge and Alex Gerrard. But that's a big loss losing Charlie Runciman.
Within minutes of the start of this game, there is Ed Chamberlain in fact.
Be the tackle!
So,
Be the tackle!
Seta Martissar withdrawn on the morning of the game. Presumably, just about as soon as they'd arrived in Perpignan, Sarr was pulled out, and they travelled early this morning on their own aircraft. And now Charlie Runciman.
It just means longer minutes, doesn't it, Bill?
It does, but it's going to be a massive effort. It was already going to be a massive effort. Intercept. Fortunately, Pat Richards wasn't able to capitalise fully. Whitman making a crucial tackle.
Yeah, well, they can read them players, can't it? And this is what Widnes didn't help themselves over the Easter period. It's the penalties. But again, they're just trying to get off the line, and there's a discipline when you're defending. What you do, you make sure you've got to get that line speed, you've got to go forward, but you've got to make sure that you only go forward once the referee says you can go forward and the ball's been played. Looking to get the ball to Corey Thompson on the wing, Reece Hanbury. The Widnes fullback unfortunately goes straight into the hands of Pat Richards.
Tough times for the Widnes Vikings then. Those Easter defeats really took the wind out of their sails after that fantastic run of form which got them to the top of the table. But Dennis Betts' team now enduring a tough spell. And anything but for the Catalan Dragons. Fantastic Easter for them. Fantastic run. Looking for 6 wins in 7 if they can win this one.
Yeah, and they started poorly this season, didn't they? They lost their opening 2 games, but then went on to that decent run, just losing that 1 in 6 games. As you say, looking for that extra win today.
I think they're above Hull, I think. On points difference if they do the necessary here. To see some different names though in that top six, certainly. That ball comes up, that's a good break for Widnes. The ball popped up somehow into the arms of Ed Chamberlain.
I'm not sure it was a good decision to pop out on the short side. Pelissier tries to find his centre. It's a forward pass, Gigot fumbles it, Ed Chamberlain gobbles it up, and then they gave a penalty away. Field position surrendered.
Both sides are helping each other out, aren't they, here? This is where you do want the ball, but both making mistakes, both giving penalties away. Tom Gilmore, probably one of the best kickers of the ball in the club, so the kicking duties will, I'm sure, come down to Tom Gilmore.
Fast release.
Chris Houston now. If Widnes can deny Catalan any more points, we've seen already this season that it's this great, they set off with fantastic intensity, Catalan. Quite often they don't sustain it.
Well, they just need an attention to detail, Bill. When you're playing against Catalan, you can't let them get and gain any momentum. They've already got a try on the board, so Widnes need to get back to basics. Stick to the plan that Dennis Betts has talked about during the week. There won't have been a lot of field work done, but fatigue will play a factor, I'm sure.
You look at the Catalan side, and there's a lot of talent there, isn't there? Not only big men in the middle, but there's some class that can score some fabulous tries.
Escaré is under pressure this time, but claims it very confidently.
Well, they can't get bored with that, Widnes. There's a penalty. Keep your discipline. Corey Thompson hits Morgan Escaré, tries to pull out the way.
Harsh call.
Well, he did hit him in the ear, he made contact with him in the ear, so that's the reason why the penalty's been rewarded. So again, what is it, Bill? You get him trapped down near the opposition's line, you give that penalty away. All the hard work you do, carrying the ball, and that's what I was talking about before, that's the discipline in sport. You do get there, but just wait for his feet to touch the ground before you make contact.
Taylor plays the ball to Lissier. Jason Bateri and then Willie Mason. Mason has knocked that on, and Jeremiah. Enthusiastic applause and a grimace from
Everybody
Willie Mason.
likes to get up and put a shot on Willie Mason, let me tell you. And especially when the two shortstops like Jeremiah and Eamon O'Carroll hit underneath the ball, and 15 minutes, 16 minutes on the clock. It's a pretty big stint for Willie Mason in his Catalan career.
He's already lasted longer for Catalan than he did at Hull Kingston Rovers in his
in 16 minutes?
In terms of games. In fact, Catalan play Hull Kingston Rovers next Thursday, so that'll be an interesting return to the KC light stream for Willie Mason.
I'm sure they'll get a great reception from the Hull KR following.
They'll have something in mind. But it's Widnes Vikings looking to benefit from that great bit of defence that forced that knock-on. Chamberlain, Jeremiah, Reece Hanbury taken down by Taylor. Dean, and just hear Gareth Ewer in the background talking to the Catalan players, saying a few borderline tackles here, get it sorted. And that one previous was a bit borderline. Christine, nothing borderline about Richie Myler. Good and low there. Crossfield kick. Our Van will challenge for it, but it's way too deep for him.
Yeah, just too much on that kick from Aaron Jeremiah. But what Widnes seem to be doing is attacking the right edge, putting an awful lot of traffic around where Dave Taylor is defending for such a big man. He doesn't want to be defending, as we see Willie Mason leaving the pitch just after 17 minutes. So Widnes, the game plan must be attack Dave Taylor, take some energy out of him, so when he does have the ball, he's not quite as effective.
Tony Gigot. Tackled by Dudson. Gil Dudson's getting through plenty of work early on in this one.
He's been a very good player this year for Widnes. Big, powerful, goes straight and hard. He looks a lot fitter this season as well.
Greg Muniz. To Lissier. Myler kicking towards that corner. Thompson, the ball ricochets and is going to come back to Escaré. The referees wipe the tackle count clean.
Well, Dave Taylor saying that he's been felled by one of the smallest men
just thinking
on the pitch, Corey Thompson.
Thompson and Taylor in the background sharing a smile there.
I don't know what he's thinking. Did I actually get a decent shot on him then?
12 metres out, the Catalan Dragons then. They've got another chance here after that ball ricocheted off Corey Thompson.
Second, clear up. Hold.
And Busquets has lost possession. And it's going to be a penalty. And
He's dropped that, Bill. It ends up round the back. As we've said already, he runs hard and strong, and Gareth Hewitt choosing to have a word.
Penalties. There's too many penalties. Have a word with him. It's a team
He
warning.
drops this. The short thoughts, Tez.
Well, he was saying
warning,
that there's hands in there from Matt Whitley.
Yeah, mate.
I think that's a
Yeah.
fair point there. A team warning was the word from Gareth Hewitt there.
Hell one. Leave him.
Enough of all the
Him and your hand
penalties.
out.
Well, they're just trying to slow him down, Bill.
Go.
Pellissier trying to burrow his way over. He emerges from that pile of bodies with the ball. Busquets flings it to Muniz, and Muniz trying to weave his way through. Buteri. Glenn Stewart now.
Third move.
Desperate defence from the Widnes Vikings. Again trying to hold out here as Catalan hammer away at their line. Short pass finds Taylor, but again they're doing well, the Vikings. Taylor didn't like that. Bosk chips wide. The ball's going to bounce down. Oh, now then.
I think that's
Has
right.
Gigo done enough there? Has Gigo got to that ball before it went dead?
The only question could be the onside, offside. See whether Gareth Hewitt asks for that.
I think he's onside, Barry, when he kicks this ball.
I thought when Thomas Bosch had the ball, he took a second or two before he decided whether he was kicking it.
Is his foot
Or
on the
is
dead
his
ball line?
Yeah.
His right foot. If he's standing on the dead ball line, if he's standing on the white line as he grounds that ball, that's no try.
Either his toe or his knee.
Well, from the other angle, it looked like he was stood on the line. And here we'll see his right foot as he's going to plant that ball down.
As he moved just in the nick of time. Thierry Alibert will have the decision to make, the video ref. Had an interesting game last Monday against the Casper Tigers.
We'll want to get this one right, won't it?
Do you think it's more of his boot, lads, that we could be looking at here, or his knee?
But has he just moved that foot in time?
Well, he just has to pick it up, doesn't he? There, he's out of play. So he's out of play, out of play, out of play, out of play.
That's the frame, innit? And it looks like there's a green.
I still think that he's out of play there, Barry.
I think he's in. I think he's in. On the frame where he touches the ball, there is a green flashing between the white and his
it's been sent up as a
boot.
try, hasn't it?
What will Thierry Alibert decide on this one from Tony Gigo? And it's no try. It was
Well, I did say that,
touch of
didn't I?
whitewash.
David.
Again,
Descent.
Catalan, when they're so close to your line,
They
they can have so many questions, whether they look to play with width, whether they look to go over the top of you, kick the ball over you.
Move.
Don't make mistakes near your own line.
Well, another escape, 20 minutes gone. Widnes have taken quite a bit of punishment here, but Catalan have only got that Pat Richards tried to show for it.
We're just into the second quarter of the game.
Third,
I'm going to repeat the point I started with. You can't get bored of getting to the end of your sets, being methodical, being ruthless, being sedulous in your attention to detail.
Wow.
Greg, wait.
I swallowed a dictionary.
Where's that thesaurus?
Hell, five, hands up.
Sure about that one, but that's the French word. Yep. Widnes in possession. Jeremiah. Mello hoists the kick. And Escaré comes for it. Richards comes for it. Neither of them get it. And Widnes will get another set of six, and a real foul up between the fullback and the winger there.
Well, this is the field position that Joe Mellor and Tom Gilmore will be after that. There's Kristen Inu, who's still suspended, misses this game. Well, it's Pat Richards' ball all day. Morgan Escaré just gets underneath his wingman. You can see and just dislodges him, knocks his right elbow. But Widnes sent on a couple of subs in Manica forward and Sam Brooks. Sam Brooks on debut, the former Whitehaven player. Been given an opportunity by Dennis Betts.
So this is a great opportunity for the Widnes Vikings, the first real opportunity to threaten the Catalan line, and here is Manesi Manakafoa. If Widnes want to fight fire with fire in terms of the big men, then Manakafoa's your man. Houston, two tackles gone. Catalan are back on their own try line. Jeremiah, scheming, Gilmore, McGrath Lulawai, but Terry stands firm to make the tackle, assisted by Muniz and Pellissier. Jeremiah to the left, to the right, quick hands. And good defence from the Catalan Dragons to stop Sam Brooks. Jeremiah, short ball, Hanbury though. Muniz and Stewart with the tackling.
Catalan Dragons up to the task so far.
Mellor stabs the kick in. And who's there? Dave Taylor again.
I think that's a defensive win. They were under pressure, lots of numbers. I like it when Aaron Jeremiah has all those bodies in motion, lots of foils, lots of deception. The Catalan Dragons have passed the first test.
Gigo denied the try a moment ago. Here is Pellissier now, and here is Pat Richards looking to atone for that communication breakdown. Catalan on the halfway line. Here is Gigo. Brooks missed the tackle. He's actually already a Scottish international, Sam Brooks. This is his Super League debut. That kick hoisted towards those posts, and Patrick Galvan collects and then builds up a head of steam.
Yeah, well taken from Patrick Arvan. Comes from the left wing, went to the centre, knew that he had to close that space down. Corey Thompson now, and now Ed Chamberlain behind dummy half. They've not been winning some of the play the balls when they've been close to Catalan's line. They're not finding the front. They're not giving Aaron Jeremiah anything to play off, really, or his half backs in Joe Mellor and Tom Gilmore. Needs to be a touch quicker, I think, Bill.
Charlie Runciman off the field for the Widnes Vikings with what looks like more hamstring trouble. But that's a penalty, I think, for the high shots. Dennis Betts and his coaching team must be pretty happy. I mean, when you lose Setamata Sarr, then you've lost Runciman, you're up against Catalan. You've only conceded the one try.
And they haven't really had any goals at the line. We saw a couple of moments ago. I think that might even be the first or second time that they've had a crack at the line. They'll get a bit of what they term as good ball now. Tom Gilmore will be trying to structure something to test the defence. I think you're right. I think Dennis Betts, Dave Banks on his left, Mick Cassidy on his right. I think they'll be fairly pleased with the opening quarter.
And now they've got an opportunity. But that penalty has given them some good field position. Mellor, Hanbury, Chris Dean trying to take on Myler and Dutour, but they make the tackle. Corey Thompson, here is Mellor now. Mellor trying to weave his way through, and Mellor close to the line. He's driven back. He's lost the ball, in fact, and it's his opposite number, Richie Myler, who picks up the loose ball and comes away with it.
He was doubled over, wasn't he, Bill? No wonder he released that pass.
And then the referee brings them back and says, that's a knock-on. Who's knock-on, Gareth Ewer?
Ball's been left forward.
Well, Widnes' ball here. Again, good field position. Joe Mellor, this is where he's strong. He runs at the line, he takes on the biggest of defenders, then bent over from Dave Taylor.
Sorry.
Well, this surely is going to hurt him. Look at that. Well, if that wasn't a grapple tackle, I have no idea what is.
I think that's probably an accident, Tez.
Ready, lads, get the formation.
The process of trying to stop him score that. He's just a big, strong man, Dave Taylor.
To be fair, most
physically bends him backwards
and accidents.
Pardon?
Are most grapple tackles accidents then?
I think that was an accidental occurrence. I do.
Wait.
Well, that knock-on, as adjudged by referee Gareth Ewer, has given the Widnes Vikings more possession, and they're enjoying probably their best spell in terms of possession near this Catalan try line. Now then, can they turn it into something tangible? Whitley.
And young Jordan Johnson's on the pitch, the 18-year-old former Kells junior, making his debut as well.
Johnston brought in late on. Houston now. 4 in the tackle for the Catalan Dragons. Jordan Johnson. The kick comes in, and Escaré goes down low, despite pressure from Manifakoa to get that ball.
We just needed a bit more weight on that kick than Tom Gilmore to trap it behind the try line. Paul Ayton, another threat for Catalan.
With a bandage on Paul Ayton there. He did get injured early in the season, but that was a torn pec, wasn't it?
Yeah. Looks like yeah.
That doesn't look like
No, I'm no physician or doctor, but I'm sure that's not his bicep.
Thank goodness for that. Catalan just a little bit scrappy at the moment, a bit scruffy. Started like a house on fire, got that Pat Richards try, haven't been able to make the most of a glut of possession. Now coming up to the half-hour mark, they're in a real tussle with a very game Viking side.
And they'll be building in confidence. As long as they can have a bit of possession in the first year of field position, they'll start to build, as teams do, no matter who's missing. When youngsters go in, they bring an air of confidence, a touch of arrogance to the side, that all they want to do is play rugby. So whenever there's senior players missing, there's other senior players that'll step up, and the youngsters will really try and perform.
Hanbury felt that.
Well, that was a first look at what they're trying to do, just go back up the guts. They're doing here again.
Manifakoa was trying to get the pass away. It looked to have gone forward, certainly in the eyes of the Catalan supporters. They're not going to hang around. Corey Thompson puts the kick in, and that's going to be too strong. And it's going to be a goal line dropout in the end. I think Thompson must have batted it back just in the nick of time.
Yeah, what an effort. Corey Thompson, when the ball shifted to Widnes' right side. See, Matt Whitley knows that there's a 3-on-2. Good hands by Christine. Running out of space, Corey Thompson, but brilliant play to pat that ball back in.
Wasn't it a good decision from Matt Whitley? He had 3-on-2, and sometimes the discipline of taking the simple option is a difficult one, and he puts the ball on his toe, never gives up on it.
Where's Corey Thompson when he bats that ball?
His left foot was in the field of play, his right foot was over the sideline.
Say that again, Thierry.
You're looking at me puzzled, Bill.
Gareth Ewer awards the goal line dropout.
Hold it. We're just checking this restart.
And then he's in fact checking the restart.
He's with you, Bill.
Thierry, what you're saying is a 20-metre restart.
So is it his left foot, if his left
20-metre
foot...
restart.
Well, I'm sure we'll get another look at this.
I were with you, Bill. I
You
agreed
are,
with you.
you always are.
Wait,
I agree with
You and me. Yeah.
You and me, brother.
Wait.
Hear that?
Well, we should soon see here then, lads. Was his right foot over the sideline? Was his left foot the one that was in the field of play when he pats the ball back in?
First, Sam, move!
Tap on the 20.
JJ, wait. Go.
So, Thierry Alibert having another look at that. And Widnes not getting the ball back as they'd hoped.
Go.
Here is Paul Ayton then. The PNG captain for a while. Wants to Wakefield, and he'll be pretty pleased with the way they're going at the moment. Good win for them this afternoon earlier on against the Salford Red Devils. And a great win for Chris Chester. Going well for him at his new club. Here's Jason Bateri. Coming up to the half-hour mark at the start, Gilbert Brutus. That ball's come loose, and another knock-on.
Oh, they're making mistakes, aren't they now, Catalan? As soon as they get into decent field position, they're making a couple of errors. Richie Myler, this is where he wants to step up, he wants to play. Looking at testing the honesty
I think
from
Phil
Widnes.
Finney would be thrilled to bits with that tackle. Academy graduates all doing really well at top level. You see the latest recruit, the latest addition, Sam Brooks, packing down in the front row.
4-0 Catalan lead. Half an hour gone. Widnes holding their own. Been a tough programme for them, and they've had the travelling to do as well. And this can tend to be the game where, I mean, Easter Monday's tough, but then the one after Easter Monday is when the roof can fall in on teams.
Yeah, but that's the one that always gets you as a player, because you concentrate and you focus on playing on Good Friday in a derby, then getting through the Easter Monday period, and you don't really concentrate on the game that's following up, and then going to the south of France. Well, you just got to get on with it, haven't you? can't feel sorry for yourself. You're paid to play rugby, and I'm sure Dennis Betts would have prepared his troops for this game.
On the last of Mella hoists the kick and is then clattered, and Escaré this time makes sure that that ball is pouched.
It was Pelissier. He did one a tackle or two before. He's full of tricks, Pelissier, when he's got the ball in his hand, but he's also a prolific penalty perpetrator.
Excellent alliteration, Barry.
Thank you. Been practicing all day on that one.
Worried
You've given that before, Bill.
I was worried how that was going to come out, actually, in the heat of battle. What was it again?
Prolific penalty perpetrator.
Here is Gigot.
Takes one to know one, they reckon.
Movement. Hold.
Gigot plays the ball. Myler puts the kick in. And Corey Thompson just waits for it to bounce into his arms. Talking of prolific penalty perpetrators, Olivier Elmer is on the field.
They need a boost as well. I think they've thrown a lot at Widnes. And Widnes, we can see on the scoreboard, only surrendered just the one try. He was in the corner. Pat Richards failed to convert that, so 4 rather than 6. I think Widnes can be happy here. If they can get some field position, spend some time down on their opponent's try line, I think points will come.
This is 3rd versus 5th in the First Utility Super League table after results so far this weekend. Hambry, a groan from the crowd at the ferocity of that tackling from the Catalan Dragons.
I think a groan from Hambry as well.
Gilmore. Chris Houston puts the kick in, and Escaré traps it.
You just can't get bored of going away from just working the ball up the field.
Felt that one, Escaré. I think it was the
Sam Brooks.
tackle.
He's putting himself about, Bill.
10 metres.
He's certainly throwing himself into the collisions.
Learned his trade in the Championship, Sam Brooks, with Halifax and Rochdale and Whitehaven as well. Gigot. Play that?
Well, you can see Gigot just saying to the referee that they're not letting us up, they're not letting us play the ball. Widnes just trying to make them play the ball as messy as they can. And a good shot from Matt Whitley.
Anthony Maria is on the field, brought into the side because of the late withdrawal of Louis Anderson. That's a good kick into the corner, and Corey Thompson underneath it, and Dave Taylor on top of him.
Did really well then. He had 2 glances at the chasers that were running towards him, and then eyes for the ball and nothing else. Great work from the winger.
Catalan supporters trying to lift their side. Houston taking on Ayton. Taylor is there.
He's come from the left side, Chris Houston, because he knows that they're under pressure. Pat Arvan, another one who's come from the left side, knowing that they're trapped in the corner. They need something here, as Jordan Johnson goes from dummy half. Great play from the youngster. Anytime you get any defenders left on the floor, he must run from dummy half. He made his name as a halfback. The number 35, Jordan Johnson. He spots that there's a slow retreating defence in Catalan. He gets out and he earns his side a penalty.
Muniz protesting to referee Gareth Ewer about that decision.
Well, look, Pat Arvan gets up. A couple of players that are left down. They're not squared at mark, and he's gone. He's running straight at Olivier Elmer, who can't get back. And because he touches him, that's the penalty. And then there's a mistake here. Is it Anthony Maria who forces the error from Widnes? These are the situations, Bill, that'll really frustrate the coach, Dennis Betts.
Anthony Maria coming into the side, just his 2nd appearance. His first was in the win at Salford on Good Friday. A very patient squad member, the former Toulouse prop forward.
Ready, fellas, come on, get the heads in.
Guisset, pensive on the sidelines, knows they've got a battle on their hands here. It's a real gutsy display from the Vikings.
It is, Bill, from both sides. You've got to earn the right to play in rugby league as well. You can't just go a shift for a shift for a shift. You've got to do the hard work. That sometimes it doesn't look spectacular, but it's about setting that field position.
Here is Glenn Stewart.
Third.
Given that
Movement.
Widnes are normally on the receiving end of a hammering when they travel to Perpignan, this is even better for them because they've shipped a lot of points
Fourth move.
on their trips to Perpignan. At 76 points to 6 in their first ever Super League meeting with Catalan at Gilbert Brutus. Taylor, basketball stuff from Dave Taylor, but he couldn't find a teammate, and it's come up for the Widnes Vikings again. They're their own worst enemies sometimes, Catalan.
Well, they are, but when they've got players the likes of Dave Taylor, who does like to promote the ball because he is that big, he knows that when he goes into a tackle, he's got the strength to get rid of a couple of defenders and offload the ball. So when it's a part of his DNA to offload the ball, it's very difficult sometimes to bring the ball back in.
It's just about 4 years ago to the day, that 76-6 defeat. And Damien Cardas, remember that, was his debut, and he got 4 tries for the Catalan Dragons. Never really was able to build on that. Manicafoe plays the ball. Good deep kick downfield, and Escaré at the second attempt retrieves it for the Dragons.
First, Jordan release.
Well, that's been a good showing, Bill, as you say, from the Vikings in that first game where they were absolutely hammered. The last 4 games, in fact, on the trips to the south of France, they've conceded 196 points. So they've really showed up here with all the stars missing, 7 first-team players out. Everyone thought that they were going to come to the south of France, who are in great form, with only 1 loss in 6.
Average of 49 points a game, I think that works out, Terry.
It does, that's great maths, that, Bill.
Paul Ayton for the Catalan Dragons, who are having to be very patient here.
5, clear it. Hold, go.
Coming up towards half-time, and Bosk kicks into the corner. It's a good kick as well. Hanbury content to watch that one, fine touch.
Both teams, I think, happy to let that ball roll off the island. Thomas Bosch jumps out from 9, kicks it, slows the game down. Everybody taking the big deep breaths. Dennis Betts just getting his final thoughts together. Mick Cassidy at the back of him. He'll probably give some information to the players in the change room. I think Widnes will be quietly happy with what they've done. They need to throw more questions or ask more questions of the defence, but they're certainly grinding this game down.
Well, they've birdied the game when they get into decent field position. They've been quite, as I said, Bill, right the way through this game, content doing the simple things, bringing the ball away. That was the undoing when they played Saints on Easter Monday. The mistakes, the penalties in the first half. They look a bit brighter here.
Taylor upends Reece Hanbury. Here's Eamon O'Carroll. On a wrong foot, Olivier Ellimer.
That's all that Eamon O'Carroll does. He takes those 5 or 6 metres, lands on his front, plays the ball quickly, and gives his teammates a fast play the ball and a retreating defensive line.
Now then, can Widnes find something in the last couple of minutes of this first half? The ball has been lost, and the penalty is awarded.
Well, they're going to have one last set of 6 out, and with 1 minute to go. There's Todd Carney, who's missed this game, obviously, which was a big loss.
It's the curse of the matchday programme, that is, because he's actually all over the cover, Todd Carney.
Go for goal.
Inside, there's a good interview Ricky Wilby has done.
Well, this is interesting. A minute to go.
It's like a football scoreline, this, isn't it? 4-2.
Well, going for a penalty, 42 metres away from the sticks and from the try line.
Less than a minute though, Ted. You'd probably take the 2 points.
Would you go?
Slow the game down.
Is that what you do if you're in that position?
I probably would if I had a Widnes shirt on and I was as gassed and tired as they are. Let's take the points, take the 2, get into the changing room and reassess.
And it's a bit of a statement, isn't it? You've given us a battering, but look at that scoreboard.
I've scored a couple of points. Yeah. I suppose there's that in it.
We're not in agreement today. You know, there's an element of a split in the camp here.
It's him, Bill. It's him. It's me and you against him. I'm happy with that.
Hanbury then to get points on the board for the Vikings, but he's yanked it to the left of the posts. Last action of the first 40 minutes here, but it's been a gutsy display from the Widnes Vikings, who conceded early on. You feared the worst, but at half-time, Catalan just 4-0 ahead against the Vikings. So for all their efforts, this much vaunted Catalan Dragons side have only got that Pat Richards try to show for their efforts. Well done, Widnes. Gareth Ewer ready to get the second half underway then in Perpignan, where Catalan lead by 4 points to 0 against the Widnes Vikings. Just 4 points to 0. Pat Richards with the only try of the game. And that really is ironic, because these are the two high-scoring sides in Super League this season. Catalan 38 tries so far this year, Widnes 46 tries. But here comes Paul Ayton trying to do something about it. I wonder if Laurent Fraisinu has told them that they really need to up the tempo here. Bosk, but they're up against a really determined Widnes side. Olivier Elmer.
And both sides will be looking to create some momentum through the middle. We saw that when they do that, both sides can cause problems as Dave Taylor goes forward, picking up youngster Matt Whitley and McGrath Lulawhite.
Been a big defensive effort from the Widnes Vikings, and you wonder whether that is going to tell later on in the game. That ball's come loose. Gone backwards, said the referee. It hasn't, he said. It's been knocked on by Olivier Elmer.
Well, Matt Whitley again involved in that tackle. Previous tackle, should I say. He dives on the ball here.
That's the knock on, isn't it, from Paul Ayton? But Jordan Johnson, he's got some whack, hasn't he? The number 35 for Widnes.
Sorry, he's given head and feet to Catalan there. There was a Widnes hand in. Hence the shake of the head from Dennis Bess.
Well, Jordan Johnson's arm was around the ball, but he offloaded that ball. I thought then that Paul Ayton knocked that ball forward.
Oof! McGrath Lulawhite was waiting for Ken Stewart.
He has got no technique whatsoever, McGrath Lulawhite. He just runs and flings himself.
And it's a scrappy start to this second half. Another penalty. Where'd he go?
Yeah, well, he holds his arms out saying, Lord, I've not hit him. Will Catalan go for two here? No, they're keeping the pressure on.
Here is Olivier Elmer back in the side, having been out for 5. Myler now. It's interesting. Pat Richards. Worm's eye view of Richards' progress.
Second, release! Hold the goal line, hold!
On the 10-metre line. Here is Richie Myler. Muniz. Whoa, Anthony Maria juggling with that one.
Hands up, McGrath! Him and work on the 10s.
Ayton. Here is Taylor now. Taylor simples for Vincent Dupont. Taylor opened it up for him, and Vincent Dupont gets his 3rd try of the season. And he can credit Coltrane for creating that opportunity.
Lovely stuff from the Dragons. He's just on the edge, the left edge for the Catalan Dragons. He was, of course, originally named in the front row when Louis Anderson was playing for the Dragons. But on an edge you feel his danger, his threat, and it's a beautiful pass, absolutely bob on from the big left second rower. Deft hands to Vincent Dupont, who gets the first try, probably after 2 or 3 minutes. I hope that that's not going to be it again for the rest of the game, like it was in the first half.
Yes, Vincent Dupont making his 128th Super League appearance for the Catalan Dragons in this game, and marking it with that try.
He just attracts defenders, Dave Taylor. You've got Joe Mellor that's focusing on the big man. He's waiting for Christine to pull across and hopefully close him off before Joe Mellor will then push off and play to the players that's outside of him. When you've got someone that skillful, Bill, who's got really nice soft hands, goes at the line, pulls the defenders in, drags them across and then just tips a simple ball on.
Interesting to see the Catalan supporters wrapped up in their Catalan blankets. They've got a great line of merchandise there, including their own perfume, which is called Force 13.
I'm wearing it now, Bill.
That might explain things.
Beautiful.
I thought it was the air condition humming, but it's not. Pat Richards missed with his first attempt when he was trying to convert his own try. Now he's trying to goal that try from Vincent Dupont, which has come early at the start of this second half. And this to extend Catalans' lead.
Time on.
A groan from the crowd in the main stand behind him. Their ace marksman is off target today. 8-0.
Well, that's not like Pat Richards, but have a little look at the number 14 when he gets the ball. All eyes are on him. Joe Mellor's waiting for the number 14, Christine. He's waiting for that player to come in so then he can switch out to Vincent Dupont, the try scorer. Well, Louis Anderson Pelissier celebrating that try. And now just 8 points in those 2 missed conversions. And the mistake here from the kickoff gives Widnes that lifeline.
Just going back to that try, Tess, he set both tries up, David Taylor, with a nice short pass. It just shows you what a difference Todd Carney missing makes to the balance of this team. That's a simple mistake from an accomplished catcher of a rugby league ball. Be disappointed with that when he watches it again.
It's things like that that are keeping Widnes in this game.
But you know that you do see teams through Super League and the Champions League who come up with them simple errors, Bill.
They're only 8-0 up, Catalan. Richards has missed both conversion attempts. And Jordan Johnston, late call up for him. The Widnes Vikings under-19s, of course, making the trip as well with the seniors for this one. Now Hanbury finds Chris Houston. There is Johnston. Now Luluai and Catalan. Celebration short-lived because they're back on their own try line and under pressure here. Could turn wrong footing Catalan for a moment from Johnston, but he couldn't capitalise on that. Kick comes in and just too strong. And will they get the ball back? Did Escaré get to that?
Yeah, his feet were outside the field of play. He plants his feet past the dead ball line when Tom Gilmore goes at the line, drops it onto his toe. It's a foot race in because he's out the field of play and makes a play for that. The ball's judged to be dead by the referee.
Ayton. Taylor has lost possession and Catalan gifting possession to the Widnes Vikings. Little chip kick ahead. Escaré gathers, but they'll come back. That was the free play.
Rhys Ambury just tripping the ball over, but then he gets taken out. There's a Catalan player in his way, goes at the line. Pat Richards is there and the gap's closed. There's no penalty, there's no obstruction.
Says it's Matt Whitley who dislodges that ball again. Dave Taylor running at the halfback on that side. The role and job of the back rower is to be a bodyguard for that halfback. And you just see him packing down. He's packing down at prop hooker, one of them, when he decides. Prop hooker, prop. He's a prop
open
now.
Side prop now, open side prop.
And he's doing a lot of defensive work, having to cope with that big man, Dave Taylor.
Monica Hall packing down at hooker then. Billy must be the biggest one in Super League.
Well, Widnes, having conceded that try, now getting a good share of possession. And missed with their only penalty attempt, that Rhys Hanbury effort just before half-time. Can they find a way through this Catalan defence? Luluai plays the ball. Here is Mellor now. Mellor thought he'd seen a gap, but Olivier Elmer first to make the tackle. Here is Manakafoa. There is Gilmore. Here is Houston now. Widnes keeping it alive well.
Well, they're trying everything here, aren't they? As the ball comes right here, there's a goal. Again, Jordan Johnson.
It's on the last, and that'll be the turnover. Maybe not the wisest decision from the youngster.
Last time he didn't pass it, I thought he'd made the correct decision, but he probably had too many options. Joe Mellor had been screaming on his right, Gilmore on his left. He decided to have a crack himself. Not a bad place to hand the ball over and apply some pressure defensively.
Confident young man then, this 18-year-old making his debut.
Shown up well, him and Sam Brooks.
Here is Gigot now. Slippery, damp conditions in Perpignan. Aiton gets the pass away to Tony Gigo.
Chris,
They were
release!
playing for the penalty then, Catalan. The speed from dummy half from Paul Aiton attracting McGrath flew away, but the referee said that he was square at marker. Good shot from Jordan Johnson underneath Olivier Element.
On the last, and Myler is running it. Good tap tackle, great tap tackle from Matt Whitley.
I'm sorry to keep mentioning him, but his attitude is absolutely bob on. He's doing all the little things.
Bill Ullay coach is talking about hunting from the inside. When the ball player goes away from you, work extra hard, and he's been doing that all game.
That ball's been lost. Referee says play the ball. Crowd didn't like that decision. Manesi Manakafoa. Young Johnston felt that.
He takes one from Gregory Muniz. He had to be brave to go down for that ball then. It was a loose offload from Widnes. Mark work from Catalan.
Welcome to Super League. Hanbury. Muniz is in the way and was making no effort to get out of the way.
Do you know, if he moves and he tries to get out of the way and he impedes the man who's behind dummy half, he'll give the penalty away. He tries to just lie there, and then what Reece Hanbury does, he gets the ball, he picks it up and he just passes it straight to the Catalan player, which then awards the penalty to the opposition.
I think there's a blood injury somewhere on the field. That's what Gareth Hugh is drawing attention to.
See, look, Gregory Muniz can't do anything. He can't get out of the way. If he does anything and tries to run forward, it's going to be a penalty. And Reece Hanbury laughing at Gregory Muniz.
Well, that's adding insult to injury, isn't he? Penalised.
Is he going off? Yeah. Okay.
In fact, he's going to have to leave the field for that scene too.
Surely that's not cut it. That's not the thing that's cut his head. Passing the ball into his chest. Solid performance. One of the originals, of course, Gregory Muniz. 259 today for the former French captain.
You do mean 259 appearances.
Yeah.
Penalty goes the Widnes Vikings way then, and here is Manakafoa. Busquet. Mellor. Whitley is cut down from Anthony Maria, having a good game on his return to the side. Maria. Gilmore runs into Willie Mason. Saw him out the corner out of his eye, I think.
The biggest man on the pitch, he's picked him out.
Well, this is a great opportunity. And Mason again there to stop Jeremiah's progress. Johnston. Can Widnes turn this into something? But Hanbury brought down by Thomas Bosk and Glenn Stewart. Mellor, little chip kick ahead. Oh, ricochets off Gigo, and that'll be a goal line dropout. That could have gone anywhere.
Good work from Patrick Arvan following up that kick. Then comes in off the wing. Joe Mellor kicks the ball back against the granite. First there was a ricochet from Tony Gigo, who's positioned himself perfectly to take that ball. A Widnes now, another set of six close to the line as Pelissier's warming up. He'll cause danger when he gets back onto the pitch. He's got electrifying pace from dummy half.
Richards thumps that ball downfield, but straight into the arms of Mellor. Manakafoa is on his shoulder to bring it back for the Widnes Vikings. Jeremiah directing operations. Mellor. Here's Whitley now.
So Bill, by bringing Aaron Jeremiah on, they've left Jordan Johnson on, Tom Gilmore and Joe Mellor, so they've got enough pivots now on the pitch. They just need this go forward.
Manakafoa gets that ball out somehow, and Mellor, there's a Catalan hand in there. Arvan can't get a hold of it. He's wiped the tackle count clean as the referee.
Well, with Chris Houston just keeping control of that ball. Gareth Hugh saying that the ball was played at, which it was, from Catalan as Jordan Johnson goes forward here.
Well, those fans thought that Patrick Arvan might have fumbled it, but Widnes maintained possession.
Goes Jeremiah now. Mellor, ball over the top, finds Christine. Christine was trying to get close to Hanbury, but was just stopped by Vince DePaul. Jeremiah, golden opportunity this is for the Widnes Vikings. They've got Catalan backtracking. O'Carroll plays the ball. Gilmore, Hanbury, great step from Reece Hambry, can't quite make the line. Bosch needed to make the tackle.
That's great defence, isn't it?
Little grubber kick comes in and Catalan survive.
Well, offside here for Catalan. The ball ricochets off a player, but then one of his teammates is stood in front of him, and Gareth Hewitt awards the penalty. Yet more pressure, but great defence.
They've got to score now, Widnes. They've had so much field position.
Aaron.
As you quite rightly said, all the pivots on the pitch. They're certainly asking the questions. They need somebody on the end of that pass to put it over the white stripe.
Anthony Maria with the tackle on Eamon O'Carroll. The ball over the top, they will score through Corey Thompson, and Widnes Vikings are very much in this game. Mellor's ball floated out wide, and finally Widnes find a way through. A shake of the head from Olivier Elmer. Catalan cannot believe this. Widnes will not go away.
Beautiful pass from Joe Mellor. One of the most difficult passes for a rugby league player is a left to right pass. It's right on the money, bob on pass. And Corey Thompson, he gets his 11th try of the season. And could he break the deadlock? Still the kick to come. Wonderful pass. Can't tell you how much skill and precision is involved in that pass.
Well, they had the numbers, didn't they? And Vince DePort has shot the line a few times in this second half, trying to close the players down. It puts pressure on Pat Richards, the left winger for Catalan, who he's got to make sure that if his centre goes in, he follows him in as well, which creates that space out wide for the Vikings. And what a brilliant ball from Joe Mellor. The 7 and 9 control the game, and Joe Mellor, Aaron Jeremiah, two of the players who are leading from the front.
Somebody's been to Lorette Demar.
They all flew out on Friday, apparently.
They might be going back to Lorette Demar. Great to see our fans enjoying the game.
Well, how about that? Corey Thompson getting his 11th try of the season. He hadn't scored in the last 3, in fact. He entered a little bit of a drought patch, but that was on a plate for the former Canterbury Bulldog. And this to narrow the gap still further from Hambry. Oh, it's there! And jubilant Viking supporters sensing that their side, against the odds, could be on for something here.
Well, the travelling army are trying to do everything to lift the Vikings, who've been in this contest. Yes, they conceded a couple of tries, but a pass like that from Joe Mellor, normally you'd associate long passes like that to the winger with Kevin Brown, but Joe Mellor, look at that, plays with his eyes up, notices that there's space on the edge, and just hits Corey Thompson right on the button.
Well, there's another player that throws passes like that, and he's not available today. Todd Carney, how many times have we seen him float a pass, float a ball into the space for one of his teammates to run onto it? Widnes are on the front foot now, 8-6, and a real ball game in front of us now.
And this is the sort of situation where Catalan can lose their cool. They must be frustrated because they've had a lion's share of possession. They've only got the 2 tries to show for it, and Widnes are just being very stubborn.
Well, apart from the couple of tries that they've scored in this game and the one that Widnes scored, it's been quite an even contest, hasn't it? Both sides are having the field position, both sides are giving the penalties away.
Mellor with a kick. Broughton. He's had a quiet game, really. Runs that ball back. 8-6 the scoreline, still plenty of time to go. Tony Gigot, close to a try for Catalan.
2, aim and movement!
A boot's end away from a try for the Catalan Dragons.
Both sets of players now, I'm sure, will be starting to feel this. 25 minutes left in this game. The Catalan forwards are winding up, they're pushing up really hard with each other.
Jordan, hold.
Trying to pull and make one of the Widnes defenders made the wrong decision as a sloppy pass from dummy half to one of the biggest men on the park wearing a Catalan jersey in David Taylor.
Chairman not impressed. Bernard Gouache in the centre there. Coach probably frustrated. Remy Casti just down below him as well, out with a rib injury for the Catalan Dragons. That ball dipping down, and Dave Taylor's a big guy. He can do a lot of things, but he struggled to pick those up off his bootlaces.
You don't associate passes like that from Paul Layton, do you? Normally very clinical from dummy half, but the size of Dave Taylor, it's impossible for him as he's going forward to catch that off his bootlaces.
We might just tell our viewers at home, and you'll see sometimes forwards form in the front row and the hooker going to 13. The reason he does that is he's going to pass the ball from the scrum. That's his job, that's his meat and drink, and that's why they put hookers at the back of the scrum.
Oh, really, wait for the foot. Glenn, wait. Go.
I mentioned earlier on the big scores between these two sides, and Widnes have been on the receiving end virtually every time. And a couple of draws these two have had as well. There's a penalty for Widnes.
Well, he's doing everything Gareth Hewitt, isn't he? He's talking to the players on both sides, and he's saying that you've got to release him. The tackle's held, let him play the ball. So Catalan really, it's a bit of a leg up for the Vikings, and again in good field position. Strong carry from Manaka forward. Mason and Stewart trying to take him to ground, and then you have Bousquet coming in. They still can't get him on the floor.
Fast movement.
Jeremiah. Here is Mella now. Manaka Foa.
2 move. Ball 8 and 10 metres. Morgan.
Widnes
Hold.
Looking to go in front for the first time in this game. Manaka Foa in the back. Oh, that's high.
Yeah, that was
Johnston
really
gets
high.
up. It's Paul Ayton who's still down on the ground.
Did you go for 2, Tez?
Yeah, he jumped straight up like a springer.
Oh dear. Now Paul Ayton.
We're going for goal, lads.
I think I'd go for 2.
Paul Ayton suffered that bicep injury earlier in the season. I thought he'd suffered something similar there, but no, it's a horrible bang in the face.
Yeah, he's got a clash here.
We're going for goal, yeah.
It's the teammate Julian Bousquet who comes over the top trying to help his teammate out, pushing hard from the inside. The heads clash, and John Johnson, fair credit to him, earns the side a penalty. He was brave going on the inside to pick up that pass. And 2 points here, and surely there'll be kick at goal. Reece Hambury just setting it up here. Comes down to nerves now as well, doesn't it, lads? Straight in front of the sticks. You knock this over, it's game on.
Well, Gregory Muniz, Paul Ayton, both collecting nice prizes from today. A couple of scars. But Widnes have the opportunity now to tie this game up.
Listen, just get them on the line, come on.
Paul Ayton will maybe need some stitches. He's leaving the field. Eloy Tolissier will come on. And Reece Hambury surely will level the scores. Bang in front of those posts.
Time on.
Hambury obliges. And Widnes 8-0 down, 8 apiece now.
Well, again, I mentioned Phil Finney, the head of youth development at Widnes Vikings. He'll be thrilled to bits to see Jordan Johnson, Sam Brooks, Ed Chamberlain, Matt Whitley, all contributing to this match heavily. The game is drawn up. Jordan Johnson forces the penalty, and here we go, 8-all into the final quarter.
I don't think a lot of people would have anticipated this, and the basis for that was these amazing score lines between these two sides. 76-6, 46-14, 42-30, last season 32-16.
I tell you what, Bill, they're rattled as well here. They're all throwing their arms up, the Catalan players. The fans are going ballistic at the referee. And Gareth Hewitt, well, he's put his team on a warning, the Catalan side.
Willie Mason swinging into Patrick Arban.
And then he makes, well, then the referee Gareth Hewitt saying that as he's getting up to play the ball, he was impeded from the leg of Willie Mason.
You know, this is reminiscent of that Warrington game we did a few weeks ago, where they had the edge against Warrington and they weren't able to make the most of it, and they let that game slip away from them.
And you can see it, is it all on in the background?
Somebody's been taken off the ball. And who's in the middle of it?
I think
it's the prolific penalty perpetrator himself.
I think was it Joe Mellor who was taken out, or was it Tom Gilmore? I think it might have been Tom Gilmore actually.
Joe, you get the players back.
You've got Tony Gigo just having a little swing at the young halfback, but some of the Catalan players are now trying to shoot the line and solve the problems on their own. They're not working as a team, which is playing into the hands of the Widnes side. And those who keeps the composure will really help. Well, here's Pelissier, and he is on Tom Gilmore, who just pins him down to the ground, and everyone's saying, no, it's okay, leave it out.
There's a lot of fuss about nothing by the look of things.
Yeah, it is.
It's as Tom Gilmore passes that ball, Pelissier, he obviously collects him, and they have a bit of a cuddle on the floor and decide they want to get up.
Yeah, it's all calmed down, but then players coming in, well, it just kicks it all off then, doesn't it, Bill? Jason Bettieri is not the biggest, but
and the referee agrees with you, Tez. I think he's restarting the game with a play the ball, I think I heard him say.
This is last 5 minutes to start.
Throws a swing, swings a punch,
Pelissier,
on the way down.
We need to get the kick.
Not the wisest when you're on the bottom. There you go, there's the late challenge.
It wasn't a late challenge.
But that's what I mean, Bill, about when you see Christine running in and Houston and Whitley all trying to protect the halfback. But what I'm saying about Pelissier, does he need to shoot the line like that or work with his teammates? He doesn't pick up the tackle, and then all of a sudden he creates that gap and he creates that opportunity for Widnes.
Gareth Hewitt's got his work cut out in this game. He's going to resume with the play the ball.
Do you know what? I love this next carry, Bill. Who's going to take it?
4. Hold on. Time on.
Manicafoe had already put his hand up, and there he goes.
5, release! Hold,
coming up to the hour mark.
Go.
8 points apiece. Mellor hoists the kick. Now then, Richards and Escaré got in a tangle earlier on. Well claimed by Christine. The ball has been booted forward, and Thomas Bosk will have to concede a goal line dropout.
So from Joe Mellor. Joe Mellor was the first to react to that loose ball on the floor. The ball goes in the air. Christine pats the ball back, trying to find Joe Mellor with a clean pass, who can't catch it, but what he can do, he can kick the ball forward and he can trap Thomas Bosk in behind the try line.
We've heard lots of coaches and lots of players talk about energy over the weekend. It seems to be at a premium after those 2 games, especially on this third one. Widnes look like they've got bags of it, and Catalan look like they're using it in the wrong direction.
Eamon O'Carroll charged the ball in, but Stewart and co weren't going to let him make any more progress. Here is Chris Houston, former Newcastle Knights second rower, shown up well in his career so far with the Widnes Vikings. Here is Mellor now, really coming to the fore. They need him to in the absence of Kevin Brown. Jeremiah, darting run from him, but Terry upends the Widnes man. Johnston. Here is Mellor now. Whitley. He can't make any progress. That's the 5th tackle.
10 metres, hold, go.
Jeremiah now. Mellor, little chip kick. Well claimed by Morgan Escaré.
Yeah, well positioned Morgan Escaré. Was that ball going to go open? Was it going to go to the short side? It chose the short side, and the threat was there, but so was Morgan Escaré. Well, it's the defence that really hurts you. When you've got the ball, you want to be fresh as you can. You can see that now Richie Miley getting in. They're trying to really unsettle Widnes. The fans are getting on the referee's back, and Tony Gigo, well, he goes a-hunting as well.
4th move!
There have been 2 draws previously between these 2 sides. Those have been on the northwest coast.
5, release! Tom, come on!
Here we are on the Mediterranean coast.
The northwest coast.
Not a great leap of imagination there. Well, that's a good kick.
The northwest coast, I'm not sure I'd want to go there for my holiday, Bill. A good kick from Catalan.
Thomas Bosk it was.
Well, it was
just
over
the 40,
wasn't he? Yeah.
But again, slowing the game down, slowing the pace of the game down. I think that tells you a little bit about Catalan's energy levels.
Well, he doesn't get a 4-20, but that's the next best thing, isn't it? Turning your opponents down, making them bring the ball away. And just look where they are. Is Willie Mason. Well, he takes a breather.
Right, let's go. Hold.
Big set this for the Widnes Vikings, because Catalan will be hunting for them, trying to stop their progress.
Bill, it's a must-complete set of 6 for Widnes.
Wait, go.
And for Catalan, they've got to make sure they don't give that penalty away after coming up with that great kick.
Manakafoa, Batieri and Muniz with the headband all over him. Gilmore, here is Chris Houston.
3, Thomas, move!
Old Kingston Rovers awaiting the Catalan Dragons, game you see on Sky Sports next Thursday. James Webster's team cock a hoop after their great win at Leeds.
Greg, hands out!
It's a tough prospect, and they'll be wishing Widnes the best here.
That was a mistake. I was just going to say, Bell, that needs to be a quick play of the ball to allow the kicker some time to find the space. It's that man,
Glenn Stewart.
He's such a workhorse, Glenn Stewart. I said before the game, he averages 40 tackles a game. None more important than that, with the game in the balance to dislodge the ball in good field position. Can the Dragons get anything from it?
Glenn Stewart's been the top tackler, I think, in 5 of the games so far. I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't come out of this one with that honour again.
Well,
he just puts himself about, doesn't he?
It looks like Glenn Stewart's in charge of all the tackling. Dave Taylor's in charge of all the running of the ball, passing of the ball, scoring tries, and just being the monster that he is.
And when you're a coach, Bill, you've got to pick players and bring them into the squad that complement each other, and those 2 players certainly do complement each other.
Well, here is the aforementioned David Taylor. Look at that, and
there's 5 players.
Widnes players.
There's only 13 on the pitch.
Taylor plays the ball. Here is Gregory Muniz. I just think he could be working for the family coffee firm in Perpignan. Instead, he's out there on the Saturday evening with his head plastered. Ooh, Stewart nearly lost that.
Could that have been obstruction, could it? And that's what Gil Hudson's saying to the referee.
Pelissier now, bobbing and weaving.
You could have a coffee off Gregory Muniz and a pizza off Pelissier.
Bosk. Here is Glenn Stewart once more. Richie Myler. Looking to get a few points against his former club. Bosk puts the kick in. Oh, Muniz was chasing that one. That would have been a rarity.
Well, he was there where the action is, Gregory Muniz. Unfortunately, it's just too much on this ball. Clever kick, but played from Matt Whitley. So it's another set of 6 here for Catalan, which is more pressure for the Vikings.
Look at Brett Hodgson at the back there, willing the Widnes players to find that energy, stay in that dogfight. The man with a clipboard.
It's an important minute here defending for Widnes.
Escaray studiously traps that ball, and then Jason Batieri runs it back in. He's such a tough cookie. Muniz.
Drop goal.
It's getting near the time, isn't it?
Pelissier and Jeremiah
forward.
Grimacing as they wrestled for that ball. That looked forward to Busquets.
Yeah, it did, didn't it, from Jason Batieri. But again, look, attracting 3 players. Looking for that quick play of the ball there. What's going to be on?
Bosk. Stewart comes back up the middle. Glenn Stewart, and they haven't stopped him yet. Pelissier now.
He's 100% in everything that he does.
Myler.
Stewart.
Catalan lining up. Here is Myler. Myler, little grubber kick, and Hambry does well.
Has he lost the ball?
Has he lost the ball? Oh, this is going to be a call for the video ref. And is it Richie Myler? Not exactly how he anticipated, but Myler might have pounced on that loose ball.
Well, he's there behind Reece Hambry. He gets the ball. That's mission accomplished. That's a tick. He tries to get back into the field of play. And then as he gets back into the field of play, does he lose possession? Is it a clean loss? And then is it picked up from Catalan? So everyone's onside here. Reece Hambry picks up the ball with Dave Taylor putting pressure on him. Taylor goes over the top. And as he tries to keep in here...
That's a try.
It looks a try to me.
Well, the question is, when he collects that ball, is it dead at this point? Then when Dave Taylor jumps on him, does he lose the ball? And is he entitled to pick the ball up, Richie Myler?
Well, that's what got to be looking at here. Does he ground this ball over the try line? Is he pushed back, and does the ball touch the white line? There. Before he loses the ball forward, does the ball touch the white line or anywhere in the in-goal area before Richie Myler picks that ball up?
I'm going to say no.
So here he is. Yeah.
I think he tries to get the ball back out so he doesn't give a goal line dropout. Then he loses control. I think this is a try.
Gareth Ewer's initial decision was it wasn't a try.
But he's there at the back.
I think he's got to go back to this point here. Is that ball on the ground? Is it on the grass? His hands underneath it? Is it touching the line? I think it is touching the line there. I think it's a let-off here, isn't it?
Thierry.
And he had to be brave, Reece Ambry. Let's give him some credit as well, because Dave Taylor, the biggest man on the pitch, is pressuring him. So I think it's a dropout here from under the sticks.
Goal line dropout.
Gareth Ewer waiting for the decision from video ref Thierry Alibert. And it looks as though that's going to be disallowed, and it's going to be a goal line dropout.
Well, he called it, Gareth Ewer, didn't he? He thought that was the point when he sent it upstairs to Thierry Alibert. Richie Myler doesn't score the try against his hometown club. He grew up in the shadows of the old Norton Park, and wouldn't he have loved to have scored a try against them?
What a let-off that was for the Widnes Vikings. Could have turned out horribly for Reece Ambry. Goal line dropout. It's a small price to pay. The Catalan will continue to pile the pressure on here. Muniz, Busquets, bringing him up the middle. Brooks with the tackle. Buteri, Myler now. Quick hands onto Dupont. Richards looking for his second of the game. Comes back in field, still going past Richards. Couldn't go forwards. Widnes desperately defending their own try line now. Myler across the field. Bosk onto Stewart. Now they'll try the other wing. And they'll meet a similar sort of reception from the Widnes Vikings. Stewart. Bosk. Here is Busquets now. Busquets tries to offload. He does to Pelissier. Pelissier to Myler. Myler will chip kick for Richards, and Richards is tackled by Corey Thompson. Fantastic defence from the Vikings so far. From side to side, the Catalan can't find a way through. Myler to Taylor. Taylor pops the ball out for Dupont. Dupont, the ball ricochets for Taylor. What a talent this man is. One of the biggest players on the pitch. And yet with hands of silk, he pounced on that loose ball, picks it up, and scored what could be a crucial try for the Catalan Dragons.
Well, at times there's been heroic defence from both sides, but something had to break, and that man has set 2 tries up and scored what could be the match-winning try himself. A wonderful display from a very skillful player. He has 2-3 players on him, rolls the offload, a ricochet. What about the agility of a big man to scoop the ball up, keep all his marbles in place, try and find the try line. Outstanding stuff from the former Origin player.
Well, I've got to give him credit. When he gets this ball away, he doesn't switch off. He's still looking what's going on when that ball's kicked forward from Dupont. And to pick that ball up, knowing that your team's under pressure, knowing that you need a score, oh, that's class, isn't it?
Well, 5th try of the season for David Taylor. And what a signing he has been for the Catalan Dragons already. And that could be a crucial play. Pat Richards has had an off day with the boot. He hasn't had that many efforts, in actual fact, that they've all been out wide. This one, wide-ish. When you think he's one of the all-time big point scorers in the Super League competition, Pat Richards. And this to make life harder for the Widnes Vikings. This one, the crowd likes, the flags go up. Richards smiles, a smile of relief, a cheer of relief from those Catalan supporters.
Well, not only has he got the power, the footwork, the speed over 20 metres, Big Dave Taylor, he's also got those nice silky skills as well. And you know the pressure on Taylor to pick that ball up, knowing that the game was so close. As Widnes kicked the ball out, did he?
Oh, has he got the timing of that catch wrong?
Yeah, I think we're saying his foot was in the air, Barry.
Yeah. That's such a difficult skill. I know Phil Clark, he particularly doesn't like it when it's on the back line, but he needs both feet planted on the floor. He catches the ball and then puts it over.
Well,
he's judged that all wrong.
Yeah, it's the correct decision from the touch judge.
And Morgan Escaray, you think, knew that. He knew he'd got that wrong.
Yeah.
You're caught in two minds, Bill, aren't you? The ball's coming down, you know you're close to the touchline. You've got to either catch that ball and get in field as quick as you can.
Can Widnes score again? Then we're back locked up at 14 apiece if they goal it. This has been a great ball game, this one.
It hasn't been the prettiest game at times, but it's been a heck of a contest. And you've got to take your hats off to this Widnes Viking side. With so many players out injured, two teenagers making their debuts. And what a performance, and they are still in this game. And they're looking to respond immediately.
It's a gutsy performance, isn't it? And when those 7 players who are missing come by, it just gives that more strength and depth to the club.
Short ball, oh, and Dutson couldn't keep a hold of it. It had opened up for him. It looked as though it had opened up for him.
I think the pass was out the back. There's been 2 defenders that were attracted to Gil Dudson. You see, he's always reaching Glenn Stewart, so if that ball goes round the back, there must have been an overload of attackers towards defenders. But those are the margins. The Catalan Dragons with 10 minutes. I'm sure they don't feel as comfortable as Willie Mason looks.
Very popular figure in that part of France, Willie Mason.
Go ahead in. Time on. All the line.
His latest club. Here is Pat Richards, try-scorer, goal kicker for the Catalan Dragons, who lead by 14 points to 8 into the last 10 minutes in Perpignan. Catalan looking to move into the top 4 on the back of this victory. It'll be tight on points difference.
Third release. Hold Sam, hold the line.
Here is the omnipresent David Taylor. Bosk on for Muniz. Sam Brooks with the tackle. Jordan Johnston up high. I said 2 teenagers. Brooks is 22, but still a rookie when it comes to Super League.
They're still young, aren't they? Look at that defensive line. Well, now it looks like that they've recharged the batteries, Catalan, because they've had all that possession, or the possession as of late. They've not been defending. So who's the most weighty? And Widnes now know that they're under pressure, although they've got good shape there on the left edge.
They're shifting it in that direction. Here is Reece Hanbury.
Well, you want your most dangerous players to have their hands on the ball. Who's going to cause a problem in the opposition defensive line? A strong carry from Gil Dudson.
4 release. 10 metres.
4 tackles gone. Dudson trying to get to his feet. He's over a Catalan body. Palicio, great ball up the middle. That was a good tackle from Jason Battieri.
You know, he's been brave, hasn't he? On debut, Jordan Johnson. I think he's been very good. The inside ball, you've got to be brave, knowing that you're going to take a whack off some of the bigger men.
Do you want to take the ball to the side?
Well, Dennis Betts knew this was going to be a tough ask for his team. It got tougher when Setamata Sarr was pulled out of the side earlier in the day. But what a performance from this Widnes Viking side. They have pushed Catalan all the way.
Sorry, Bill, I'm sure if Bernard Gouache was asked would he take 2 out of 3 over the Easter period, he'd have said yeah. So they've come up with 2 victories and they've been stubborn And let's face it, they're on fumes, players. I think Tony Smith and Sean Wayne on Friday night, they mentioned it and they said these players shouldn't be allowed to be put through this, but they do it every year, and they still keep coming up with the goods.
Sam, let's get a 10.
Here is Morgan Escaray. Had his moments in this game. Chris Naninu will be available for the game against Hull Kingston Rovers. I think he will serve his 3 games. Todd Carney will be back.
I think Widnes have got a tough game against Castleford, haven't they?
Gigo up the middle, needs some support. He's got it from Jason Bateri. Bateri gets the pass back, and it's 6 to go. There was a desperate Widnes hand in there. Gigo does his dying swan bit. Taylor back on the inside. David Taylor looking for another try.
He just keeps going, doesn't he?
Off his foot.
Catalan looking for the try that would really put this game to bed. Muniz has had a strong second half.
Listen to that crowd as well. They're in full voice.
They've got their money's worth today, and Bosk will go for the 1 point. And the crowd behind those posts salutes their long-serving player. First drop goal of the season for Thomas Bosk, the second consecutive game where Catalan have gone for the 1 point.
Lovely stuff from the half-back. He just slots the drop goal over, and Bernard Gouache, he looks like he's going to get 3 out of 3 in the Easter period. Very cool, very calm. The 32-year-old just slots it over, and look at the delight in the dugout from the Dragons players. They know they've been tested here.
That ball has come up for Patrick Arvan. Patrick Richards made a play for the ball, thought he was going to go out, and Patrick Arvan pounced on it.
Well, running out of time, they have to go for the short kick-off. They need the possession.
Muniz is going to have to go off. His blood coming through that bandage on his head. Here's Whitley.
3, move! Morgan, hold!
But they need 2 scores to the Widnes Vikings if they're to overturn this. Jeremiah, Gilmore will kick over the top for Arvano, and Arvan couldn't collect. And then the 2 Pats just having a little disagreement there.
Well, the short kick-off here doesn't quite make the 10, the first attempt, then it bounces over. Pat Richards waiting for that ball to go into touch, thinking it's going to be a penalty, makes a play for it, then Widnes come up with it. But then all of a sudden, a couple of things go against the Viking side. Tom Gilmore goes for the short kick. The kick goes to Patrick Arvan, but unfortunately he doesn't take it. Well, there we go, there's the mistake that led to the field position and led to Widnes getting the ball. But there was a next play after that.
Come on, lads, get the scrum sorted.
Where Tom Gilmore goes to chip over the top, goes to set Patrick Arvan free. Unfortunately for the Vikings, it goes into touch.
So Widnes heading for a 3rd defeat in a row, and that's a real come down for them. But
over the 3 games and the 3 losses, if this is a loss, this has been the one that showed most character, I would say. They blew it against Saints in the first half. The first half against Warrington on Good Friday, they competed, but the speed of the game really got them the final 20 minutes. But with this, with so many youngsters, they've showed an awful lot of character. As I say, missing all those big signings that they've got.
And they have pushed this much vaunted Catalan side all the way. Here goes Escaray. He got a marvellous, dazzling try last Monday against the Castleford Tigers. 2, in fact. Bosk with a little kick over the top, and Mellor is there to collect it.
Well, there was a collision with Dave Taylor, and I think it's Corey Thompson. Corey Thompson seems to have Dave Taylor in his back pocket every time he hits the ground.
Chamberlain is driven back over the line.
But then that's what I always talk about. When you kick the ball into the corner, it's very difficult, coming off the back of slow play of the balls, to get forward. You try to play outside of the tight 3 defenders, either side of the ruck, but because you're trapped into the corner, you'd have 6 defenders that are really tight. You pick Ed Chamberlain up, they drive him over the try line. Big defensive display from the Catalan Dragons, just conceding 1 try. Widnes goal for the short kick-off here.
Espray is able to pick it up. I mean, Catalan will enjoy the fact this is another win, 4th in a row for them. And defensively, Catalan, I mean, they were looking to improve on that score this season, and there's signs of that happening as well, isn't there?
Well, there's never been any doubt that Catalan can score tries. What?
Milo! Sorry, Terry, but if Eamon O'Carroll hadn't got a hold of him, Milo's gone. Still going at it, those two are. Here is Pelissier. Pelissier will wrestle his way over the line and claim the try, or will he? Another decision for video ref Thierry Alibert. Gareth Ewer reckons it's a try. Does Thierry Alibert?
Well, Pelissier, as soon as the scuffle starts to happen between O'Carroll and the half-back Richie Myler, he's up, the pizza man, he sees the try line. Has he delivered? I think he has.
Yeah, I don't think there's a problem with this. He goes at Brooks, he goes at Hanbury, he goes at Gildudson, 2 of the biggest defenders. He picks them out, Pelissier.
Looking for his 2nd try of the season, Edouard Pelissier. He got 2 tries against the Widnes Vikings in the game at Stade Gilbert Brutus last year. He's got another one, this time forcing his way over to confirm this Catalan Dragons victory against such a determined Widnes Vikings side.
Just too much defence for the Vikings in the final 15 minutes. I think that's really sapped their energy. The efforts that they've put in the opening 65 minutes were absolutely heroic, like what Barry was saying. But Pelissier, the danger man that he is, the speed from dummy half, as soon as he gets out from dummy half, he just pins his ears back. He goes as quick and as tough as he can, gets near the try line, gets over Gildudson and rides the tackle of Reece Hanbury and Sam Brooks to score what will be, I'm sure, the match-winning try.
Pat Richards looking for his 2nd success with the boots. He's at 2 from 4. Richards on target. Catalans, good run continues. Those Widnes Vikings, well, at least I think they've gone home early, the Lorette de Mar contingent. They want to get stuck in.
Well, one man who's got stuck in, and he always does get stuck in front of the cameras, is Pelissier. Look how strong he is to ride a couple of tackles. Eamon O'Carroll couldn't get set at marker, and he's one of those 100% players. Just gives his all in everything that he does, Pelissier.
But even as Pelissier was going over, the defiance from Widnes, OK, they couldn't stop him, but they almost did.
I think Dennis will be very proud of his players. No shortage of effort. Were it not for a bounce of a ball and the sway of possession and position, they could have took this game. Ultimately, they haven't. They have to learn back. They have to learn from this. 3 defeats in a row isn't good enough for their aspirations. It's been a wonderful season so far.
And in games like this as well, you find out about your teammates, you find out about your players if you're the coach, like Dennis Betts. And he'll be very proud of their efforts, but they're up against the Catalan side that really found the rhythm in this 2nd half. And especially that man who's going to get up and play the ball, Dave Taylor.
Stewart. Sorry, Barry.
Sorry, Bill. I talked about him having a huge involvement with the ball and distribution. I remember and recall a game for South where he actually played and started the game as a standoff last year at the Gold Coast Titans. He had a number of games in the centre, so although he's a big man, 130 plus kgs, we hear he is. He's got agility, he's got speed, he's got skill. But unfortunately for Corey Thompson and the Widnes Vikings, he's had too much, along with everybody else today. Todd Carney, Zach Horrow, Remy Casti. A number of players not available for the Dragons, but they still take the money today.
Lawrence Fresno talking to his players. He was actually a try scorer when Catalan beat Widnes 34-16 in the Challenge Cup in the 2006 season. Handshakes all round from the Catalan Dragons, and there is the final siren. And what a game This has been a real gutsy effort from the Widnes Vikings, going down 20 points to 18, and Greg Muniz with that bandage on his head, the blood seeping through, just about sums up the commitment we've seen in this game, and those Catalan supporters delighted at a fourth win in a row for their side. 21 points to 8 the final score, just one try in the first half, 4-0, so the bulk of the points coming in the second half, and we can have a look at the action now, and it was all the way through to the end. This was a real gruelling battle.
Yeah, well, as you say, Bill, just 4-0 at half-time, but the man of the hour was Dave Taylor, who supplies that pass to Dupont. You can see he just attracts so many defenders because of his power, because of his speed, but Widnes get on the scoreboard, and what a brilliant ball from Joe Mellor to Corey Thompson. That's his 11th try of the year. But again, Dave Taylor having the big influence there to pick up the ball, and they just take it away here, 14 points to 8.
And the standoff, Thomas Bosch, he was next to get the drop goal. We'll take another look from a better angle. Look at that pick-up. Dave Taylor, he's had a wonderful afternoon, Dave Taylor. Been involved in everything. Here's Bosch, right in the pocket, slots the drop goal over. That just nudges the Dragons out. And the final say, Eloi Pelissier, just next to the sticks, plonks the ball. Final scoreline, 21 points to 8.
So just one game to go, I think, in this round 9. Look at those results so far. Hull Kingston Rovers, who meet Catalan next Thursday, winning 30-10 at Leeds. Hull FC